shelters. Every dollar you spend, every advert you place helps to build another bus shelter, providing modest comfort for Cayman travelers. Reserve space now on the only billboard medium in the Cayman Islands. Email rotaryshelters@gmail.com. rotaryshelters@gmail.com. The Bus Shelters, a partner in community convenience. Another inspiration program by Rotary Central Cayman Islands.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949-6066.
But I do have some questions.
There are more questions than answers.
Cayman Islands' foremost listeners participation program.
Talk Today.
What's on your mind, Cayman? If you're ready to talk, we are ready to listen. Discussing current events and local news, community spotlights, hot topics, listener stories, cultural and historical discussions, environmental issues, fun and lighthearted topics, guest interviews. Cayman, basically anything you want to talk about, we are ready to listen. Here's your guest host, Charles Glidden.
Coming up next, we start off with open line, so pick up that phone, give me a call. Later, we hear about the Cayman Cancer Society hitting the road with walkers and runners, and we wrap up the show with Pastor Alison Ebanks. Talk Today's next. Stay with me.
Talk Today is reminding you
to avoid any statements or comments which are abusive, derogatory, malicious, or defamatory. Do not use indecent language or make any statement that is false or misleading. Call 1-800-534-8255, 949-6990, 949-8037, or WhatsApp us on 925-3261.
And now, back to Talk Today.
Good afternoon, and welcome to Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. Thank you for checking in with me. Well, it's a pretty nice afternoon here in Georgetown. Kind of a partly cloudy January afternoon here. We're working our way through the week. Of course, you know, whether it's raining, partly cloudy, or sunny, always great to be in the Cayman Islands, right? Where else would you want to be? And, hey, Cayman Brack, I see they're going to put you in the movies. They're going to make a big star out of you. Yeah, Cayman Brack. Frank E. Flowers, also known locally as Frankie Flowers, has a new movie out called The Bluff. And yes, it's your bluff. Cayman Brack. Frank Flowers co-wrote and directed The Bluff. And Cayman Brack is the backdrop, the setting for this action movie about Ursula Bloody Mary Bodden. So, a lot of good Caymanian stuff in there, I guess. And it's on Prime Video, so I guess you have to subscribe to Prime to see The Bluff, at least for now. Well, congrats to Frankie on putting another project on the screen. And I'm sure a lot of people will be seeking that out. If you've seen the trailer, it looks pretty exciting. Well, just looking at the news, came across this story here that shows you how, one action, one place, has a consequence some other place, which makes something happen in another place, right? But according to those among us who have to keep their eye on what's going on and foresee what might happen, Cayman is look like making contingency plans for any possible surge in migrants coming from Cuba. And apparently the theory behind it is because of what has happened in Venezuela with the U.S. hitting that country and pretty much controlling Venezuelan oil, that could affect the supply of oil to Cuba, right? And if that oil supply is reduced or even dries up, well, things are going to get even worse in Cuba than what they are. And, things are not good there to begin with. So if there is a further deterioration in the quality of life in Cuba, they think people will be trying to leave there. The deputy governor, Franz Manderson, and he was speaking before the Public Accounts Committee, he put forth that there is that possibility. And actually he said a skilled team, he said, was working to identify and mitigate the internal and external risks that this jurisdiction faces if this scenario develops further. So he posed the question, what is going to happen if Cuba no longer gets any oil and people start to suffer? Is there going to be a mass migration? He asked, noting that a team is looking at this scenario and what would be the outcome. Now, if your memory goes back, a ways in what current affairs in Cayman, we have had a problem with Cuban migration in the past, going back, 1994. Over 1,000 Cubans came to our shores, and it was quite a situation. Of course, they got to the BRAC first, the BRAC being closer to Cuba, and it was quite a trying time. Here all of a sudden you had these people who were trying to escape in all manner of anything that could float, it seems like, arriving here without anything. And there's all sorts of treaties and international obligations, and just how to handle this surge of refugees, being the small jurisdiction that we are. And a scenario is being set up here that, it's possible that we might have to deal with that again. The Coast Guard and Customs and Border Control are reportedly working together and sharing intelligence with regional partners. And if over 1,000 or more, if the situation gets the way that they anticipate that it might get, life will be so hard that it'll probably be, what was it? I think back in 1994 was like something like 1,100. It's quite possible you might see significantly more people trying to get out of Cuba coming this way, and of course when they reach the shores of the Cayman Islands, they're always pretty much in dire need. They've run out of fuel, run out of any water that they've had, and you have to lend a hand somehow. And they land on our shores, and we certainly don't have the facilities to, handle over 1,000 people coming in quick succession and landing on our shores in bad shape. So let's hope we have a plan in place if that was to occur, and hopefully we will not have to face that. What are your thoughts? Give me a call. Number to call 1-800-534-8255. That's courtesy of Flo. Also 949-8037 and 949-6990. And you can WhatsApp us on 925-3261. Let me know what you're thinking about that situation, or any situation, any issue that you would like to talk about. Give me a ring. I'll be right back.
The best foundation you can wear is glowing, healthy skin. The offices of dermatologist Dr. Wayne Porter specialize in enhancing your skin's well-being. Whether you're seeking advanced skin care, including any skin cancers, Botox, filler, cosmetic skin enhancements, or simply looking to reduce wrinkles, Dr. Porter offers a full-service dermatology and dermatological surgery practice. For more information, email drporterkman@gmail.com or call 946-9020. That is 946-9020.
Sports. Stay up to date on your sports news with Radio Cayman Monday through Friday at 7 a.m., 6 p.m., and 10 p.m. It's all about sports.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Yeah. What's on your mind? Do you think we're going to have to deal once again with, over 1,000 Cuban refugees landing on our shores, and we're going to have to take care of them? That could really throw a wrench in the budget. When you have to start giving medical aid, housing, or security, that could really throw things off as far as the budget is concerned. And I know the last time that we had to go through this, there were multiple things that spun off of it, because you have all kind of international obligations, and at one point I remember also we were not even allowing them to land. We gave them aid and let them go on their way. Or maybe it was the other way around. Was there something about even giving aid? But when thousands of people, or over 1,000 people show up on your shores, you have to treat them humanely, And knowing Caymanians and the connections that we have to a lot of Cubans, there's a lot of sympathy to help anyone trying to escape that country. And we just hope that it doesn't go to that, because it would put a big strain on our services and the budget and a number of different aspects of where do you put that many people? Where do you house that many people? And it's a situation that let's hope that we don't see it develop. But I'd like to hear your thoughts on it. What would happen, do you think, if we had to face that again? And let's see what's going on here. Just looking around here on Cayman News Service, let's see. Government high schools. Now listen, this is government high schools getting a good report here from the inspectors. This story here is saying all of the government's high schools have been rated as good by independent inspectors, which means that the public system is now outperforming several faith-based, fee-charging private high schools, and that is certainly good news to hear. Apparently they're saying in this article from CNS, while there are still problems in government primary schools, many of which are overcrowded as population pressures push them to their limits, the high schools can now all say they are providing a good free education for local children. And of course we want to see this where the education system is considered good, even excellent, all the way through. That's a goal that we need to shoot for, because how many times have we talked in this show about Caymanians being ready for the workforce, and why we have to bring in people on work permits. If we don't prepare the students that are coming out of high school every year, if they don't know the basics of filling out a job application, how to write a cover letter, if they don't know those kind of basics, they're going to have a tough time finding a job that is something that they can feel like they are being productive in. We have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You are on the air. Hello.
Good afternoon, everyone.
Yes, good afternoon.
Yes, sir. I've been listening to you since you started. That is some bad news we're hearing. If we get a massive influx of Cubans here to the island, it'll put a burden on the financial state that the islands are in to cope with these things. So that doesn't sound good.
Yeah, it would be a burden for sure.
Yeah, I am located now in one of the areas that we have the worst phone service on the bluff. How are you hearing me now?
Oh, you're coming through clear.
I am just east of Big Channel Bluff Road, and calls come into me, and I can't hear nothing. It's just calls are banned mostly in this area. So I'm
Banned.
calling you now.
Well,
Testing the communication. I'm hearing you good, and you hearing me good.
yeah,
Yeah, I've been.
loud and
People
clear.
been calling me. I'm actually on a job site up here. We did a groundbreaking for one house here on the bluff, and I just had lunch sitting down up by the lighthouse, and I took my binoculars and viewed the entire horizon. There's nothing out there yet to be seen. Only two super tankers passing. But Cayman Bright will be the one that get most of the Cubans. We've been getting most of them here, being the one
Yeah,
of the
well,
closest
back
points.
in '94, Cameron Brack was the first place that landed, right?
Yeah, correct. And they mostly come from Matanzas and northeast of Cayman Brack, about 150 miles in that area, up around Cape Cruz area, northeast of Cayman Brack, and they'll be on their way to Honduras, and we'll be right in the path. So I have assisted hundreds of Cubans over the years, seeing the light flashing in the night, getting ships to assist them and give them directions, and after they are given food and water in Cayman Brack and depart in the nighttime, I have notified ships to keep a sharp lookout for small craft with 25 people on board or 7 people on board. So my involvement with helping the Cuban refugees been an immense help to them. Those big ships in the nighttime, radar cannot detect those wooden hull or fiberglass boat. Mostly wood, they would just run into them, and the seas from the big ships would capsize them. So I'm one of the persons that been involved in so much life-saving procedures involving the Cubans and many other people.
Some of those rafts, or that they come out of Cuba on. I mean, it's amazing that they make it that far on something that looks so rickety and could go under at any time.
That is right, and a lot of them were just kept afloat by large truck tubes. They used the inner tube from big dump trucks and buses, and they grouped them together and put boards across, and that's the flotation. One time they came here on actually a converted bus. They used the bus and put it like a tank and cut the tank, top off the tank in half, and used the bus engine and drive shaft from like a school bus or something like that.
Yeah.
And they had the fuel tank all equipped. That was quite an incredible invention they had. You hear about a makeshift transport, yes.
So they were in the body of the bus.
It was like a large tank that was cut in half.
Yeah.
And then they equipped that with the truck or bus engine and drive shaft going in.
That's what was propelling
inside.
them. That's what was driving them.
Correct. So the diesel engine that powered the bus or dump truck or whatever it was in Cuba, they converted it to power the boat to get to Cayman Brack and then get on to Honduras and into Mexico and into the U.S., that kind of thing.
So how was it floating? How was it floating, though?
Dilapidated boats, they've been coming in.
How was that bus floating?
It was a tank, the bottom half of a tank that was cut in two, and that was watertight. And then they had structures around it, wood around it, and had all kinds of glue and tension and sealing to prevent water intake. Quite interesting, yes.
And so that was also helping to float it.
Correct.
What they had around it.
Yes, that's right. And one time a boat came here with a pregnant woman that was expecting, and they left, and nobody ever heard anything more whatever happened to them, whether they made it to Honduras or not. And I know Dervin Scott from Scott Development, poor soul, he's very ill now. Him and Miss Hayo, they used to provide lots of Cayman Brackers, hundreds of Cayman Brackers provided food and drink for them. And once they're housed here, the government was paying for 3 meals, breakfast, lunch, and dinner at the restaurants to feed them until they send them out to Grand Cayman, and they stay there for weeks or months or a year, then contact the U.S. Embassy, British Embassy in Havana, then they tell them when to send them back over. So it's really will be putting a burden on the Cayman Island government with the cost of living now. If we get an influx of people.
Yeah, that's right. Oh, it was Cayman Airways was making flights into Cuba, taking them back to Cuba, right? If I'm
yes, that's correct.
Remembering
that's
correctly.
Yes, surely.
Yeah, so a lot of people had to be involved in dealing with that situation.
Exactly, and they would send police on the flight as well, and custom and immigration authorities would travel. Yes, it entails a lot of things, and just additional burden on the island's operation. So we have a hot, sunny day in Cayman Brac, 85 degrees, just partly cloudy. And it's getting hotter. I'll probably get to about 88 later in the afternoon.
But maybe that big winter storm I see in the States, maybe some of that will reach down here in a couple of days.
Yeah, we got more cool weather coming. I figure it's going to go all the way up until March, later part of March, before the cold front's in. This winter has been a very cool one during the Christmas and New Year.
We have a wet January too.
Yeah, that's right. We had some good rain here recently. And the most unusual, thunder and lightning in the month of January.
Yeah?
Once August and September pass and you get into October, cold front start to come in. You never heard about thunder and lightning, but you hear it in December now, November, December. January, which is very abnormal. That will prove climate change, that things are changing. With thunder and lightning in October, November, December, right on through sometimes during the winter months. It was nil. You heard nothing about thunder or lightning during those months.
And now you're seeing it more?
Yes, up until a few days ago and a few nights ago, we had thunder when we had the rain pass by, the rain squalls pass by, yes, in January, right, this month, yeah, just a few nights ago. So that's an abnormality, because all of that I remember very well from growing up and keep checks of all that kind of stuff and keeps up with the activities, yes. Okay, let me just say that Trump has seized a total of 7 tankers, and he sent one fully loaded one alongside the dock in St. Lucia. However, I know a lot of Caymanians and some people went to school up there in a place called Cul-de-Sac, St. Lucia. It's a deep water port. The tanker is drafting 70 feet of water, and it's tied up alongside the dock with big old ropes. And they're going to pump out the 2 million barrels of Venezuelan crude that was destined for China and Malaysia. And yesterday they directed one from around Curacao and Aruba, a 900-footer, and that's going to dock in St. Croix and pump out about 1 million barrels of crude oil there. And they got one in Freeport, Bahamas with 2 million, another one headed there with 2 million barrels, so it's an enormous amount of...
Raymond, do you know why they're pumping it out in St. Lucia? I mean, do they have a refinery there?
Yeah, Buckeye Oil Company, the American oil company, is storing it there, and then they can load it into tankers and bring it past Cayman Brac and Grand Cayman and go on to Texas and Louisiana and all about in the U.S. and sell it to other places as well.
Okay.
Storage facility there in Cul-de-Sac, St. Lucia. Has a very big storage facility. And St. Croix has the biggest storage, like 34 million barrels of crude oil. And the Bahamas can store 28 million barrels of crude oil there in Freeport, Bahamas. So they just store it up and wait for the sale for it, or the oil company in the U.S. will need it and send it to Texas and Louisiana to the refineries and refine it and make gasoline, diesel. We probably will be getting that same Venezuelan crude back here in diesel and gasoline and jet fuel made from it.
I guess that's possible. I heard that Venezuelan crude is heavy, though. It takes a lot of refinery.
Mary crude oil, and now they're sending tankers with naphtha, similar to kerosene product, that they mix with the heavy crude oil to dilute it and make it thinner to be more pumpable and then ship it out to the U.S.
Very interesting.
The first tanker with the naphtha past Grand Cayman yesterday, coming from Houston with naphtha to go to Venezuela. They pump that in storage tanks, and they're going to mix that with the heavy crude and get it thinned out, and then load it up again and ship it out in tankers.
So you get all this info from the ships that you communicate with, or how do you get this information?
Yeah, I got information like from all over.
Well, Raymond, thank you so much for the report. Very interesting stuff. I got to take a break. We'll be right back.
Did you know Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Wouldn't it have been grand if you had purchased land 30 years ago? It may not be 2020, but a perfect vision has never been more clear. Kim and Brack and Little Cayman, poised for growth with an eye on the future. Your land, your history, your future. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. It's about 9 minutes going up to 1 o'clock, and we have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You are on the air.
Yeah, good afternoon, Mr. Charles.
Yes. How you doing?
Doing good so far. Enjoying the day. Nice sunny day.
All right.
Yeah. I hear you discussing about...
Are you on a speakerphone?
Yeah.
See if you can talk directly into the phone. You're sounding kind of... Not really.
Okay, how about now?
Yeah, that's much better.
All right, cool. So I heard you guys discussing about the immigrants, the Cuban refugees.
Mm-hmm.
Well, I remember a few years ago when they had that increase in the Cubans landing in Cayman, and they was housing them up in the Fairbanks.
Right.
And I remember seeing footages of them escaping Fairbanks like freely, like people just watching them escape like they had a right to. I mean...
I know there's a big problem with it, yeah.
Very much. And you know the worst part about it? I had felt so bad in my heart that there were a few of them that would, on a daily basis, be up by Popeyes, for example, and drive through and begging for money for God knows what, because they're not asking for food. I say, I can buy you a plate of food, and I'm supposed to be doing that, but I could buy you a plate of food. Even if a person starving is bad, but giving you money, you know, I heard that it was illegal to assist in a refugee or something like this. So
yeah, there was something about that. I mean, because the international treaties, you're assisting them, and in assisting them to go on their journey, it was like you're assisting illegal immigration.
Yeah. I think it was at some point I heard that it was that if the Coast Guards were to intercept them, and it would be illegal for them to allow them to leave the jurisdiction if they're within our jurisdiction. Yeah, that's what I heard. And the thing is,
that
about
might have been
that,
how that was quite a long while ago. So yeah.
Yeah, it's like about 3 years or 4 years ago.
No, back in what was it, 1994 or something like that.
Oh well, that's different. Yeah.
We've had a couple of different surges.
Well, it looks to me like if we keep introducing people, we already have a problem with our immigration, where we have people on this island that are living amongst us, and they do not like to respect our rules because this is not their way of living. But if you go to Rome, you do as the Romans do, right?
Yeah, yeah.
If
So they say.
If we have, yes, so they say. But if we have international, how you call them, worldwide citizens, world citizens, I don't know if you introduce 1,000 third world citizens to a first world society, how would you think a village that comes out of the rainforest or something that are like tribal people come into the civilized society act civil? Just think about that, because this is a problem that we got going on worldwide right now. We got a bunch of people that are coming out of their jungles and they're going into the society, do not know how to take care of themselves, much less take care of anyone else. And here we are influencing them to be protected or something like this in another man's country.
So you're saying that in reference to the Cuban refugees, is that?
I'm saying that in reference to the Cuban refugees,
Okay.
exactly, because with the Cuban refugees, what they're doing is I'm not painting a picture on every single one of them, but amongst the few that are legitimately seeking political asylum and whatnot, they are criminals that are running away, are like the coyotes in Mexico.
Well, I know that happened during the boat lift that invaded the Florida coast when they let all those guys out of prison and everything and said, well, go.
Okay.
Now I don't know about people now when you see people just coming across on rafts and stuff like that.
Yeah, their intention.
I don't know how many criminals would be among them, but
Yeah, they'll be looking for food, and when they look for food, they're gonna have to buy it, and then when they have to buy it and they can't work, what else they're gonna do? Because we find people that masquerades as Caymanians, and they tend to take advantage of our privilege, and that makes us look bad when they've been identified as foreign refugees. That
I mean,
have been
if the government brings them ashore and because this whole thing about having to return them, and they house them, I'm sure they feed them. It's not that they're just kept there imprisoned
but they're done
without
used to
food.
that. They're done used to that, and they up in Cuba, they get these things like food stamps. I would have believed that where they get a certain amount of food per, I don't know if it's per week. I don't know 100%, but I believe that that's how it went, where they get their bag of rice, their fruit, their milk, and whatnot. And I don't know if that's the same kind of treatment they want to run away from to come here and get the same kind of treatment, but with a little bit less, how you would call this now, control.
Yeah, I think most of them are trying to reach the U.S. and go through Central America.
I believe so too.
And either migrate to Central America or but a lot of them trying to get to the U.S. But they're on this side of Cuba, so it's kind of hard
And
to
then everyone is pushing
get
them
there.
out.
What's that?
Yeah, everyone is and it's almost as if everyone is pushing them out, because no one is encouraging the proper system to take care of them, because they leave them to the public to deal with. Now I look at it this way: you rehabilitate prisoners from prison to come out to join the society again, right? And it's almost the same way with these asylum seekers or these how you call them, refugees that are coming out of these facilities with just a mere intention of living. And then when you have Caymanians and locals in general that want to help them, and we don't know their behaviors, much less even have a criminal record for them to say that, yeah, they're cool people. You know what I mean? It's like, how do they be recruited to be hired in after they've seeked asylum?
And I mean, granted asylum.
When they granted asylum, yeah.
Yeah. Well, I know the policy had been to return them to Cuba, because that was, there was a whole operation to return them to Cuba, if you remember. We were talking about the Cayman Airways flights taking taking him back and all of that.
Mm-hmm.
But there have been over the years, I mean, refugees who've come to Cayman and settled here, or, you know.
Yeah.
But I don't know if you can really look at them as, in the same sense as someone who's had been a prisoner in jail for committing a crime, you know.
Well, that's the thing. No, half of them.
Some of them
don't
are
have
ordinary
identification.
people. Most of them are probably just ordinary people.
Probably. Yeah. Well, I want to speak about something that I know a little bit more of.
Okay,
right?
but you know what? You can hang on if you want to.
Yeah,
it's coming up on 2 o'clock here, and when 2 o'clock rolls around here at Radio Cayman, that means we got to check in with the newsrooms. Hang in there for me. We might have a guest when we come back, so I'll have to see. Let's go to the headline news.
This is the People's Radio Station. Radio Cayman in the Cayman Islands. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines. Local, regional, international news.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market and Health Services Authority.
I'm April Cummings with your headlines. The National Trust for the Cayman Islands announces the launch of a new 12-piece fine jewelry collection called Blue Lagartos. It's designed by filmmaker and activist Celine Cousteau and jewelry designer Susan Foster. The limited edition pieces were inspired by Cayman's endangered and protected species, including the blue iguana, the wild banana orchid, and Sybil's crown beard. All net proceeds will go to the National Trust. In international headlines, a key inflation gauge watched by the U.S. Federal Reserve shows consumer prices up about 2.8% in November compared with a year earlier, slightly higher than October's 2.7% pace. On a monthly basis, both overall and core prices rose 0.2%, keeping inflation above the Fed's 2% target, but indicating relatively modest month-to-month increases. The 2026 Oscar nominations have been announced, with Sinners leading the field with a record 16 nominations, including Best Picture. One battle after another follows with 13 nods. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings.
Radio Cayman. More news available at www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter. Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
At HSA, we strive to provide the highest standard of care with compassion, integrity, and dedication. And so we say thank you, Cayman, for continuing to make us the most awarded organization on island by voting us the best of Cayman Islands in 9 medical categories. Your support reminds us why we do what we do, to serve the Cayman community with kindness and excellence. To find out more about our award-winning services, visit hsa.ky. At HSA, we are committed to caring for you.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Although very similar to their Grand Cayman counterparts, organized religion in the Sister Islands was spearheaded by the work of Baptist ministers as opposed to Presbyterian missionaries who started the churches nearly 40 years after that in Grand Cayman. In May of 1885, Reverend J.H. Sobey, minister of the Second Baptist Church of Montego Bay, visited Cayman Brac at the invitation of the Brac seamen. During his visit, Reverend Sobey held the first service in a large house and it was so overcrowded that the following day a tent had to be erected to have the service. In 1886, Reverend Sobey returned to Cayman Brac with Secretary of the Jamaica Baptist Missionary Society, Reverend E.J. Hewitt, in order to introduce Reverend H.W. Rutty as the Brac missionary worker. Congregations started at various settlements with the construction of 2 chapels in Stake Bay and the Creek. The progress would continue, and 6 months later, Reverend Rutty was ordained as a permanent missionary, and more congregations were formed in West End, Sport Bay on the east end of the island, and South Harbour in Little Cayman. Reverend Rutty's son and grandson would go on to become Cayman Brac's collector and Chief Justice of the Peace.
Radio Cayman is pleased to feature this special Sister Islands historical vignette brought to you by the Ministry of District Administration and Lands. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your Sister Islands.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. Let's do a quick check on the weather. Current conditions, 81 degrees here in Georgetown. It feels like 88. Woo. Okay. And the winds out of the east-northeast at about 8.5 knots. And the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies all the way through to tonight with northeast winds at 5 to 10 knots and moderate seas running at 3 to 5 feet. So that's your little weather update there. And we have some guests in the studio because a big crowd of people are hitting the road this Sunday morning to support the Cayman Islands Cancer Society. They will run and walk, and they'll be raising funds for this organization that does some truly wonderful work here in Cayman. And joining me to tell us more about that is Dave O'Driscoll. He's the head of operations at the Cayman Islands Cancer Society. Charlene Blanchard, financial aid and education officer of the Cancer Society. And Karen Ebanks, VP of marketing and communications, Cayman National Bank. Folks, good afternoon. Welcome.
Good afternoon. Thank you for having us.
Now, a lot of people support this effort.
Yes, thankfully. This is our flagship event. This is our big fundraiser. As I'm sure you're aware, we are not government funded. We rely solely on donations and fundraising to do all the programs that we do here in Cayman and support the Cayman community with cancer care and aftercare as well.
So how many people are you expecting?
We are expecting at the Public Beach, West Bay, about 1,500. We are expecting 100 more at the Northside Stride, which is happening the same morning. And there will be hundreds more who have just registered, some just to support, some to pick up the cool new T-shirt, but that can't make it on the day. So we're hoping to hear from those people. Maybe they might tag us on Instagram, striding wherever they are in the world or wherever they are in Cayman, supporting the cause.
So what is Cayman National Bank's involvement?
We are, for the 3rd year in a row now, Cayman National has been the title sponsor. So this is a partnership that came about for our 50th anniversary, which took place in 2024. So we were fortunate to celebrate with this fantastic cause. And then last year, we also celebrated again with them for the Cancer Society's 30th anniversary and Stride's 20th anniversary. So this year, we're just keeping the party going and celebrating a 3rd year of partnership, of doing good within the community, sharing awareness, asking everyone to come to share prevention tips, to just show solidarity.
And Charlene Blanchard, now you're the financial aid and education officer. So you're right into the heart of what the Cancer Society is about in our
community,
right?
I am.
Tell us about that work.
So the financial aid program is we provide assistance, financial assistance to patients that have little to no insurance, that are not able to pay for not treatment necessarily, because there's so much that happens before treatment starts. There's a lot of scans, there's a doctor's appointments, there's blood work, and you name it. And most people that come to us, they have the SHIC insurance, which is the standard plan, and one visit to the doctor and it's done.
Yeah.
So all of this we try to help them with, paying for all of these consultations and scans and office visits and you name it, that they're not able to afford. And the education part is that I'm out and about in the communities, partnering with corporations, doing awareness presentations, because we have a different cancer that we bring awareness to every month of the year. And this month is also Cervical Cancer Awareness Month. So we try to get out there, spread the word, prevention, how to get their screenings. And we also offer vouchers for Pap smear, PSA for men. We just introduced a fit kit, which is to, it's not quite like a colonoscopy because it's done at home. And then you just follow instructions and take it to your doctor, and they process in the lab and call you back and let you know if there's anything, if they find anything. And also, I'm getting ahead of myself. I get excited about these things. We partnered with Public Health to provide the HPV vaccine for kids starting at age 11 until for young people up to age 25, and those are offered for free. And some of the clinics around the island have partnered also to provide these HPV vaccines for free to the general public. And it's not just for girls anymore, it's also for boys. So yeah, in a nutshell, that's some of what I do.
That big huge nutshell.
Yeah. So this run and walk is to help support all of this work that goes on.
Absolutely. It's not cheap. Medical costs are climbing all the time. I'm sure people will tell you. And we need to keep the lights on for as many of our patients as possible. So we do have a huge amount of sponsorship. Thank you to Cayman National for being our title sponsors. And we have a ton more sponsors who I will name in a minute, who will make sure that the money raised from all the registrations goes directly back into the work that we do in our various programs, like Shirley mentioned, the education program, the voucher program, and the financial assistance program.
Now, how are the funds raised? How does this all work with people running and walking?
All right, well, there you go. We have less than 2 days left before the registration closes. So people can go to cics.ky if they're online, or they can visit us at Pavilion Building, 2nd floor in Cricket Square. There they sign up for Stride. It is $30 per person. If you want to bring your kids along, it's only $10 per child under 12. You pick up your shirt, and then we meet you Sunday morning, January 25th at Public Beach, 6 a.m, where we walk together.
Okay, so the start is at 6. I know. I thought I'd seen something about 5:30.
Well, yes. Are you doing the half marathon?
I'm doing a full one. No.
Good man yourself. I'll time you. Yeah. So the half marathon sets off at 5:30. Mm-hmm. That is 2 loops of the route, which is from Public Beach down to the wharf and back. So that's 5:30. The normal stride starts at 6 a.m. We will have the CEO of Cayman National giving a couple of words, as well as Her Excellency the Governor will be there to set us off. And we also have a north side stride. So you can still sign up knowing that you won't make it all the way west on Sunday if you're out in the eastern districts. Run point, 7 a.m. gun, and that is for the north side stride, which is a nice leisurely 5K.
So you get quite a few people out that way also.
Yes,
we do. Yeah, it's a totally different experience. It's laid back. The road is lovely. The scenery is beautiful down there. Dining at Home are providing the coffee, and Rum Point Restaurant are providing some breakfast snacks for everybody who participates. But at the moment, we are at over 100 striders will be with us at Northside.
And what's the count for the main one?
Oh, that is, we're getting up to 1,500 people. Yeah, it will be.
So you're there at 1,500 already?
Yes.
With 2 days to go.
With 2 days to go. Yeah. So. Very excited. It's been bigger than ever. Again, thank you to the radio stations for helping spread the word. Thank you to our sponsors for signing up their staff. Like Cayman National alone have over 100 of their staff will be there between Northside and West Bay on Sunday morning, which is great because it just shows that they are all about family, all about community, just like us.
So does the bank do this every year? We have their staff sign up?
Correct. We do. And it's also tying back to the different locations. What's great is Cayman National is the only bank that has a presence in all 3 islands. And with that, the Cancer Society also has a stride in the BRAC. It's in October, though, so you'll hear more about it then. But it's great to have that presence and to spread the love through all islands.
Let's talk a little bit more about the work of the Cancer Society. I know you mentioned education.
Mm-hmm.
I would dare say that Cancer Society has actually saved lives.
We try. I guess it's more the doctors, not really us. We just provide the financial assistance.
You let people know about the importance of early detection.
Because
the mammograms.
Well, we don't do the mammograms. We've handed that over to the Breast Cancer Foundation.
Okay.
And they will provide the mammogram vouchers. However, we do provide pap smear for ladies, and a lot of the ladies that have gotten a pap smear have been diagnosed through those screenings.
Mm-hmm.
And also the men with the PSA. They have been, I think we've had more men being diagnosed with prostate cancer with the PSA test. And we also have, during the month of April, mouth cancer screenings. We partner with a lot of the dentists around the island, and they provide those services for free as well. And like I say, now a lot of the doctors that do the pap smear, they do that free of charge. Anyone can come in and get a voucher, go to one of these doctors that are in our network, and they do the pap smears for free. And and they just get sent to the lab and the results to the doctors.
Do you keep stats?
We keep stats on the voucher program that we provide. However, we don't do stats on, we have a number, or we keep a number of patients that are diagnosed. However, because we're not part of the cancer registry, that is done at Georgetown Hospital.
Yeah, okay.
Yeah, and so they have a cancer registry there, and they keep all of they gather all of the information, and they have the stats for cancer patients and the different cancers and what is more prevalent on island.
But in the course of a year, how many people do you assist?
Oh, that's a good one. Yeah, I think last year we had over 100 people that we were assisting. And it's not just for screening. We also assist with food vouchers for our patients, because someone shouldn't have to decide between paying their rent and paying for treatment, And so we try to help them in the best way that we can. And we provide other services like our wellness. We have a wellness program that patients can take advantage of, like group therapy. We have journaling workshops. We have healthy eating with and a lot of the clinics around the island partner with us to provide these services to our patients and their families. Because
so you
cancer,
go a long way in promoting a healthy lifestyle.
Yes. Because cancer not only affects the person, but everyone that is around them, their families, their friends. So we try to make it so that their families can also enjoy these programs and be able to, I guess, get better.
benefit from it.
Yeah.
Dave, you would want to say something there?
Yes, no, I was going to just say briefly about the cancer registry. So it's not a comprehensive registry like many countries around the world. It's on an opt-in basis, so it's voluntary. So obviously we would encourage everybody who is diagnosed with cancer to fill out the application so that they are added to the registry, which is obviously completely confidential and anonymous, but it is data that is absolutely integral to the research and to the knowledge that is required to better tackle cancer, because treatments here now are so focused. It's not just one pill for all or one radiation for all anymore. It is so targeted and so focused that the more we know about what cancers are here and what the backgrounds are, then the hospitals can be better prepared locally to give the right treatment to the right person. We're very lucky to have such great hospitals on this island, where gone are the days where you were definitely had to fly off for treatment. You had to go up to Miami. Now we have chemotherapy, we have radiotherapy, we have very skilled oncologists who can prescribe immunotherapy medication as well. And you can actually go through your whole treatment without leaving the island, which was unheard of up to 5 or 6 years ago.
Really?
Yeah.
I mean, certain cancers you may have to go overseas, or you can pretty much handle everything here in Cayman?
Most of them. I mean, there are, of course, there is always an exception to the rule, but there are very few that they're not able to handle here and they will have to travel overseas. But most time, I would say 90% of the time, patients are able to start treatment, do surgery, do radiation, and follow-ups right here on island without needing to go overseas.
And that must make a difference.
It does.
In being able to fight the disease.
Yes, it does makes a big difference, because now families can, patients can stay home with their families. You know, being away before, you know, patients would have to go 2 months at a time just to do radiation. And some people don't have anyone to travel with them, and they would have to be overseas by themselves, going to treatment every day. And it's hard, not only on the patient, but their families as well, not being able to be there for them. So it is a blessing to have all of it here on island now, you know, that you don't need to travel overseas unless you choose to.
Well, that's great news that, you know,
yeah,
everything can be done at home now.
Mm-hmm.
Are most of the people who come to you for assistance, are they elderly people?
No, not really. We have been seeing more younger people being diagnosed with cancer. I think one of the
when
youngest.
You say younger, what?
One of my patients, the youngest one that I've seen in the last couple of years, was 22 years old. We're finding women, younger women in their 30s, being diagnosed with breast cancer. And the very aggressive one, which is the triple negative one. And we're seeing more and more younger women being diagnosed. And that is scaring in itself, you know. But it's not a disease for old people anymore. You know, before you would hear older people being diagnosed with cancer, not anymore. We're seeing so many young people being diagnosed now.
In some ways, it's good to see, and don't take this the wrong way, but it means that people are often detecting it earlier.
Yeah.
That our message of early detection and regular checkups with your doctor is actually getting through. You'll find that if you speak to the lovely ladies at the Breast Cancer Foundation, their numbers are up for the amount of mammograms they give out, for the amount of diagnosis they record, but they were recorded at a earlier stage. They're seeing more stage 1s or even stage 0s, which is, so it's much easier to treat, and the outcome is always much more positive as well. So that's, in a way, that's a good thing. We're catching it earlier before it spreads too far, before it metastasizes, and with proper treatment earlier on, these people have a much better chance of fighting it and living a full and happy life.
How do people go about getting assistance from the society?
Well, we have an application process where patients can come to us. They get a referral from their doctor. They come to us and we ask the necessary questions. They fill out the form. And once we know what it is that they need, we submit an application for them with our financial aid committee. We have a financial aid committee that consists of medical professionals that they look at each application on a case-by-case basis, and they assess, the need of the patient, and they get back to us letting us know, the outcome of that application.
Go ahead.
From a corporation perspective, from a Cayman National perspective, I think one of the upsides of this, well, one of them, because there's so many partnerships, is all of the help that is readily available from the Cancer Society. Whether you take it or not, at least you know that it's there. And being able to share that with our staff members, that they know that they're supported and that we can provide that connection. You guys are so good and forthcoming with providing lunch and learns and providing additional paperwork or information. And I think all sponsors should be quite proud that they are making that connection with you and that can share that information with their staff, because it is about prevention, like Dave was saying, and removing the stigma around it.
Yes.
Some people could be quite intimidated by going to the doctor, and just knowing they can talk to someone within their corporation or someone that the business knows, I think it's a great benefit.
Is there still that stigma around cancer?
Yes, yes, there is. We find it more with older people, that they think that, okay, if I come to you, you're going to share my information with everyone. Hence why a lot of people do not register with the cancer registry, because they believe that, okay, they're going to use my name, they're going to use my information. So we try to tell patients, your information is confidential. It does not go from, the person that is taking that information. They're only using it for stats, and so that they could know how, share it with the hospitals, but they only share the stats with the hospitals, and to know how best they can approach cancer treatment. And but there's still that stigma that I don't want anyone to know that I had or that I have cancer, and they want to keep it quiet. And some people don't even want to share it with their employer because they're afraid that if they say something that they have cancer, they may be fired, So there's a lot of
promotions.
So.
Especially in the male population, we run a very successful campaign in November where we call it Movember, and it's all about bringing awareness to men's cancers and the importance of self-checks and getting yourself checked at the doctors. Prostate cancer is one of the biggest killers in the male population, and it can be practically avoided completely if people were to get themselves tested and screened in time and not to leave it too late. The men who came in, they don't want to go see the doctor. They think it's a sign of weakness. It's a kick to their pride. Like, guys, we need to get over this. Just your doctor is your friend. He wants you to be fit and healthy. It's not for you. It's for your families. It's for the ones that you're leaving behind, for your legacy, your kids, your wife, your girlfriend, both of them together. You need to be the strongest. You need to be the healthiest. If you were to support your family.
So 2 more days to register. And how do people do that?
Yes, today and tomorrow. CICS.ky. You can register online if you're handy with a smartphone, and then pop down to us before 5 p.m. on Friday to pick up your shirt. There'll be no packet pickups on Saturday or on the morning of the race. We'll be very busy organising everything. So please do it quickly. The shirts are selling out fast. There are so many goodies that you get with it as well. And there are so many goodies to enjoy at the event itself. The first 1,000 finishers get a very cool Stride dog tag. Every finisher is entered into a raffle. We have, I think we're at 60 or 70 prizes to give away after the finish line. And while you're there waiting for the prizes as they're being given out, you can enjoy coffee, snacks, drinks, refreshments, and even for those who have overexerted themselves, if they did the half marathon or even the 10K, we will have several massage tables as well to give people post-race rub-downs.
And even if you're not going to run, you can still make a donation, right?
Yes.
Please do.
This is where I'm going to come in.
Yes. Please make a donation. Every dollar absolutely counts. If you can make it on the day, you can do your own stride. You can take a selfie of yourself doing that stride and
Do you make that donation online, or
yes, everything can be done online. Yeah, you don't even have to reach for your wallet anymore. You can. Yeah, nobody needs their wallet anymore. You can you tap your phone, or you just autofill for your credit card. But yes, please, donations are welcome if you can make it on the day. And yes, every dollar counts.
You wanted to say thanks to some people?
Yes, I'm going to name a couple of sponsors. Obviously, Cayman National, who are our title sponsor for the third year running. They're an awesome group of people and an awesome family community, just like who we serve. Our gold sponsors are BB&P, Conyers, Dillon Perlman, Health City Cayman Islands, IMS and Progressive Distributors, with our silver sponsors being Jake Scott, Maples Group, Davenport and Compass Media, and our media sponsors, I'll go through them very quickly: Funky Monkey, Invest Resolve, Williams 2 Real Estate, Link International Group, CUC, OAM, Rulans, Crichton Properties, Harbour House Marina, Panthera International, DDL Studio, Doctors Hospital, Kerry Olsen, Cayman First, Hawksford, Five Continents, Rotary Central, Berkshire Hathaway, Kirk Office, HSA and Stingray Media. And we have so many water stop sponsors, we have so many sponsors of prizes, and of course we have an army of volunteers who help us as well. So it really does take a village to get this show on the road, but I'm really looking forward to it. It's going to be a great morning.
Well, Dave O'Driscoll, Charlene Blanchard and Karen Ebanks, thank you so much for coming in and telling us all about this fundraiser. And thank you all for the good work that you do in our community. It's really fantastic.
Well, thank you, and thank you to Radio Command for having us on, and thank you for spreading the word, because you're always willing to have us drop in and tell you all about what we're doing, whatever month it is.
All right, you take care.
Thank you.
We'll be right back with more Talk Today.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
CUC is committed to empowering our community. From energy-saving initiatives to stories of real impact, we're empowering Cayman to help shape a sustainable future. Visit empoweringcayman.com to learn more and get involved.
Morning has broken like the first morning. Blackbird has spoken like the first bird. I just feel like something good is about to happen. I just feel like something good is on its way. Praise the Lord. He can work through those who praise Him. Praise the Lord.
Put your hand in the hand of the man who steals the water. Put your hand in the hand of the man who calmed the sea.
Oh, just because I've got Jesus on my mind. Just because I got Jesus on my mind.
Praise time on Radio Cayman.
Yeah. Weekday mornings from 6 until 6:30.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back. And I hope you do take the opportunity to either join in the walk or the run, or if you're really feeling fit, do the half marathon there and support the Cayman Islands Cancer Society. Because as you heard, they do some fantastic work for people who need help here in Cayman. And yeah, I'm not going to walk, but I'll make my little donation and support the cause, because so many people are touched by cancer, either having it or family, and when a family is affected by cancer, it's a ripple effect where everybody in that family feels the impact. And we do have a caller on the line. Good afternoon. You're on the air. Hello?
Good afternoon.
Yes, good afternoon. You're on the air.
So I called back. Yeah, that's a really good thing. What the chances of doing?
Oh, yeah. They help so many people.
I make my donation to the team.
Having a little trouble hearing you.
Probably that speakerphone.
Better
Yeah.
now. Better
You hear
now.
me good?
Yeah, that's better.
I hear a little feedback, but it's okay.
Yeah, you were saying you always try to make your donation.
Yes, sir, definitely. Because with a little bit of the stuff that I have, like, so I can't.
Oh, you're gone again.
You hear me good?
Yeah, I think we got you now.
Yeah. One thing, what I would like to talk about from before your guests, the scooters that are on the road. These people are ridiculous, because I don't know why they think that they are vehicles as well, like us cars, like all the cars that are on the road. They think that they are invincible.
Yeah, some of them ride that way, certainly.
Yeah.
But I mean, now they're going to classify them as vehicles, so I don't know what is going to happen then.
Yeah, that's kind of confusing to me, because, like I said, I believe in the transportation need, right? Everybody have that right. But when it comes into these scooters, I mentioned it already. These are toys. These things are like something that you have fun with. And obviously they're having fun with them. And it's reckless.
Yeah, I've seen a lot of demonstrations of that, out on the road. It's like no rules really apply to them.
Right. I seen the other day a person cut in the front of the another person. It was just someone else ahead of us, right? And I saw that they were in the middle of the road trying to turn into another road. I'm like, okay, so they just cut in the front of a moving traffic just so that they could stop in the middle of the road so that they can turn off into another road.
It's almost a mentality that I've seen, that because they aren't licensed, because they're not registered or have insurance and such, as other vehicles do, it's almost like some of the people think, they can do as they want.
Yeah.
Like I said, the rules don't apply. And, if you have to have a license to ride one of those, then maybe that thinking will change.
Or maybe it could deter them from getting one.
Well, I guess it'll have to be a test, right, if they don't have a license already. Yes.
I still don't believe that they acknowledge the road rules. I still don't believe they acknowledge that.
No, I mean, I know what you're saying, because I've seen people ride with abandon. It's like, here I am flying down the street. I can't get hurt.
Yeah, I honestly agree with they riding in the communities, like going to the store or something like that within a district. But when I see them on the highway, my God, sir, these people are almost suicidal because you got to check out how they use the roundabouts. I don't even think that bicycles should be on the roundabouts, to be honest. So how can these scooters be any better? They don't even have the thing is about it, right? They don't have rear view mirrors to check if there's anybody coming. They take a chance without looking and expect people to be careful for them like as if their life is forever.
Like the drivers, the car drivers are the ones that have to be taking all the
Yeah, they have
responsibility
to really drive for them.
and let them fly past, right?
It's ridiculous. And it puts a strain on people that are trying to drive safe and trying to make it to their destination safe because they have random people just cutting in the front of them. And then the worst part is that they're on the side, on the bicycle lanes that they're allowed to use, right? And then they're trying to beat the people that are driving on the road. So then now when you want to try to make a turn, you literally have to look on your rear view mirror to see if there's an idiot to look at to cross you because they will. They'll see you indicate and they'll not even try to stop.
Well, maybe like I said, if we can regulate this, which is coming, there'll be some kind of change in attitude.
Yeah, I believe now that after they make this decision to enforce these things, there should be no excuse for anybody. Right now, they should even be practicing. They should be practicing the road, to deal with the road the proper way. And get off of the sidewalks. I don't know if they listen to the radio for them to understand what's really going on, but they need to be able to be safe for themselves.
Well,
They
we all
need to
have to
be
be
safe for
responsible
themselves.
for ourselves,
Right. It's exhausting when drivers have to worry about other drivers, and then now you have to worry about these scooter riders too. Gee. It's putting pressure. It's going to put pressure on the citizens, and especially the enforcement officers. It's going to put even more pressure on them because they can't even take care of the drivers. I made the suggestion already, and they should have these police officers that are equipped with these scooters and properly trained to identify bad behavior on riding on these scooters. It should start from now.
I'm trying to get the director of the DVDL to come on and talk about this whole situation and explain what people can expect.
Yeah. I think it would be a very beautiful thing.
So hopefully, I can get him on next week because Friday is already booked up and Monday's holiday. So I'll be seeing if I can talk to him later this afternoon.
Yeah, it would be really nice to that because these scooter riders, they need to understand what is going on. They're endangering themselves, though.
Yeah,
it's not our fault.
And they're hard to see. If you're traveling in traffic, cars are going along at 35, 40 miles an hour. You got 2-3 lanes of traffic, and this little scooter comes by, and it's like, where did you come from?
Yeah.
They weren't on the radar at all.
For real. And one other thing, I'd like to give thanks to the Ministry of Planning for the dock, the restoration of the dock in West Bay.
Yeah.
Up in Morgan's Harbor. That is well needed. A lot of people will appreciate when that is finished.
Yeah, that's been in need of repair for some time, hasn't it?
Mm-hmm. And I heard the minister the other day when he was on the show, I think he was with OC, and he was talking about the overuse of commercial boat operators on the public docks
Oh.
in South Sound, I think. And I think that need to be paid attention as well in West Bay Public Dock.
So you mean
Because
those docks are not there for commercial use?
I don't believe they should be used for commercial use.
Okay.
And if they are, I mean, they overload the use of the dock. They overload the use of the dock, and the people cannot use it. Yeah.
Yeah, I didn't realize that it was restricted as such. But I can
Well,
see
this is the
I
thing.
can
When
I can
they-
see how that makes sense.
Yeah, well, when they destroy the dock, right? They have another dock, and then the other dock is a private dock.
Yeah.
So when they had that protest the other sometime last year, I don't think that we recognize the real issue of how these people actually disagree with locals using their own things, but then we have to allow them to use our things.
So that was a private dock, though, right? Where they put up the
I
fence.
didn't know that you
the
could
gate.
own a dock in the public.
No, but I mean, wasn't
Because that's a
wasn't
public
that their
beach.
property then, and they built the dock?
Yeah.
But yeah,
That's a strange one.
I can see how that makes sense about the commercial use of a public dock, because if you're running a commercial operation, then you should have a dock that, you know, is dedicated to that commercial operation somewhere.
I would believe so too.
That you just have a boat
Look, your club is available.
running a commercial operation, and then you use the public facilities to do for your docking.
Your club is available, but I'm pretty sure they have to pay a fee to dock there, right?
I wouldn't know.
Me neither. But I believe so. And this is the problem. They're getting away with a lot of free access to destroy our public facilities. And then when we need to get it fixed, we have to beg our ministry for permission.
Yeah, people don't realize there's always wear and tear wherever there's use. You know, things happen. Things get broken.
And another public issue that we have, our children. The children don't have a proper facility to play. And I still truly believe that children should have the rights to play. And there's no
Like a
facility
public
for
playground.
them to play.
Whatever
you would like to call it.
Yeah.
But this is something that is very urgent, that is needed, because ever since they closed down the Black Pearl Skate Park, it has been chaos on the streets with the children. And it's not like I don't like them playing. I love seeing the children playing.
So what, they're
But
skating?
not all
They're
children want to play
skating.
basketball.
Skating on the streets.
Yeah, not babies, children.
Yeah.
Yeah, these
Skateboarding
children are on their bicycles. They're on their little scooters, and they want to ride up and down like how they used to. And it's not safe anymore in the public.
Yeah, and I mean, just the access to land for young people. I mean, you know, years ago you could always find some place to play. You know, some piece of land that, you know, you can go and play ball if it was wide open, or play cowboys and whatever if it wasn't. But land is getting scarcer and scarcer because it's, you know, being built on, and you know, where do the children play, right?
Yeah, but you know, there was a piece of land that was right next to the Scholars Park in West Bay. And I remember when I was going to school, that used to be a skating rink. And now it's just growing grass. Or bush, I would say.
Yeah.
And that's not nice, because that concrete foundation It's bust up now and everything. You can't even use it.
Well,
So now what?
That's a shame if they just was there and was just let go to, be overgrown again.
Yeah, so that they can have some other foreigner to come in now and say, we need to beautify this place. And they're not going to build nothing that for children. The children comes for free. And they want to charge the children too.
But listen, I got to take a break.
Yes, sir.
But,
all right, have a good day.
Yeah, good talking to you. We got to break away for a little bit. I'll be right back.
Did you know that Doctors Hospital provides urgent care services 24 hours a day, 7 days a week? And Doctors Hospital's urgent care physicians have access to the most advanced MRI and CT imaging in the Caribbean, providing reliable diagnostics when you need it most. When you need quality urgent care for an illness or injury, Doctors Hospital is here for you 24/7. Whether it's a migraine, chest or abdominal pain, shortness of breath, broken bones, or another urgent need, Doctors Hospital at the top of Walker's Road. Urgent care right now.
Explore your history. Explore your land. Explore your sister islands. The ultimate staycation experience. Your culture, your freedom. The land that time forgot isn't gone. It's your sister islands.
Discover all that our sister islands have to offer.
Hey, new drivers. Don't just drive, drive smart. Cineco and Inspire Cayman's Safe Driver program will show you how. Get real-life simulator training and classroom sessions to help you gain experience, stay alert, and avoid accidents. Learn to recognize risk, manage fatigue, and make smart choices behind the wheel. Certified participants may even pay less for Cineco motor insurance. Learn more and register at cineco.ky. Cineco, keeping Cayman covered.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Well, if you want to get a call in here before we go to the 2 o'clock news, 1-800-534-8255 is the number you can call with toll-free courtesy of Flow, or 949-8037. 949-6990, or use the WhatsApp number 925-3261. You can call us, leave us a message, even a voice note, and we'll play it. And as that last caller was saying there, children having a lack of places to play. That's something as we develop Cayman, and the development is headlong. It's like a runaway train right now. Every time you turn around, there's something new being built, some land being cleared for a building. But parks, playgrounds, those are things that, add to the quality of life in any developed place. Some people might go, well, you can always go to the beach, right? Well, even the beaches are being reduced as far as access is concerned. Although I see the government is making some move to make sure that those access paths going down from the main road down to the beaches are going to be well maintained. But when you think about it, Public Beach, Governor's Beach, Smith Cove, Smith Bacadere, whatever you want to call it, all those places can get really crowded now. Gone are the days when you could go along and find a secluded place where just you and your little group or whatever could go down on the beach. No more. But any time where you have a lot of buildings and places are being developed, it's always nice to have a place to escape to from for a little R&R. You know, whether it's going and sitting in a park, walking in a nice area with a lot of nature, or a playground for children. Communities where people, young people, children, can go and play ball, recreational parks, and just little, even if it's just a little playground for children to go and have it swing and that sort of stuff. Because, again, back in the day, you could make your own swing, right? You just needed some rope, a piece of board, or maybe a tire and a tree. You could tie that rope up to the tree and you got yourself a swing. Maybe the rope was all you had to swing on. but you could swing and have a lot of fun. Today you might even find yourself, you might have the rope, but you can't find a tree to swing from. Because not everyone, of course, has the luxury of having a yard with a nice tree in it. It's Cayman 2026, and sure, we should make sure that communities have recreational facilities. That's all a very important part of having a good quality of life. I don't know if you heard the segment with the Cayman Islands Cancer Society promoting their run on Sunday morning, walk and run. The real fit people running a half marathon. But of note, they said that, most cancers can now be handled right here in the Cayman Islands. We have the means now of treating people right here at home, which makes a big difference. Instead of having to get on an airplane, go to Miami or some other place, stay in a hotel room and go to a hospital for cancer treatment. People can be here with family. Makes things much easier. And I guess we have a lot to be thankful for, the development of medical facilities in Cayman. And I was just seeing here, Health City has performed Cayman's first robotic heart surgeries. That's advanced there. So this is what I was talking about some time ago. When is Cayman really not at a golden age? The things that we have available to us today compared to not very long ago. Just a matter of 15, 20 years. The hospital facilities, the other types of things where even shopping, with all the other issues that surround that, all the other things that we complain about, today in 2026 is probably some of the best times that we've had in Cayman when you look back and compare Cayman's history and how we have lived over the years. Young people today really have no concept of what life was like back just less than 100 years ago. You know, even we're talking 75, 60 years ago. Things were completely different, and I know I was talking to one of our younger staff here at Radio Cayman, telling him some things, and he was like amazed that that's the kind of life that people of my age experienced. And you know, this is just 1-2 generations that we're talking about. We're not talking about, you know, like 250 years or anything like that. Cayman has come a long way in a short period of time, and some would say we too fast. But along with that too fast development, we have benefited in many, many ways. It's coming up here on 2 o'clock, and that means we got to check in with the newsroom. Let's see what's making headlines.
If they are talking about us,
living in your head rent-free all this time,
we must be relevant. Radio Cayman since 1976. From Radio Cayman's newsroom, this is Headlines.
The headline news is brought to you by Kirk Market.
The Cabinet of the Cayman Islands has released its post-meeting summary from its 14th January session. The document lists decisions on supplementary funding for several ministries, appointments to key boards, and new drafting instructions for customs and border control regulations. The summary also notes recent economic and trade reports tabled before Cabinet. You can find the report online at gov.ky. In international headlines, U.S. federal officials say a woman who led a protest disrupting a Sunday service at a church in St. Paul, Minnesota, is under arrest. Attorney General Pam Bondi announced the arrest of civil rights lawyer Nikema Levy Armstrong days after protesters entered the church to demonstrate against immigration enforcement, linked to a pastor who's also an ICE official. The Justice Department has opened a civil rights inquiry into the disruption, while church leaders and national religious figures have publicly condemned the protest inside the sanctuary. Forecasters are warning that a massive winter storm is bearing down on a wide swath of the U.S., from New Mexico through the Deep South and up to New England. The system is expected to bring heavy snow, sleet, and freezing rain beginning tomorrow, with ice accumulations that could bring down trees and power lines and leave roads treacherous for days. Those are your headlines. I'm April Cummings from Radio Cayman's newsroom.
www.radiocayman.gov.ky. Check out our social media pages: Facebook, YouTube, X, formerly Twitter, Radio Cayman Headline News.
Looking for fresh, healthy food that's full of flavor? Then you've got to visit Kirk Market. Our dishes are made with fresh, high-quality ingredients. Enjoy vibrant mixed greens or satisfying pasta salads. Or try one of our delicious grill options like blackened chicken, spicy beef steak, or grilled salmon. Looking for something light and flavorful? We've got sushi rolls and poke bowls prepared daily. And don't forget to explore a hot bar or Billy Fresh salad at the salad bar. Stop by Kirk Market today for breakfast, lunch, or dinner and taste the difference. Eat well, live well with Kirk Market.
Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and let's make a quick check on the weather here. It is 82 degrees in Georgetown, and it's feeling like 90 degrees out there. Wind out of the east-northeast at almost 8 knots, actually. And the forecast is calling for partly cloudy skies straight through tonight, with winds out of the northeast at 5 to 10 knots, and waves running at 3 to 5 feet. So there's our quick look at the weather there. And we have some guests in the studio here, and they are here to be talking about an event associated with the Church of God Chapel, Equip Cayman. And here to tell us all about that, we have Pastor Thomas French. He is of the Church of God Chapel in Cotton Tree Bay, Cayman Brac, and also a visitor from Australia, Rudy Furlow of Liberty Church down in South Australia, is it?
Correct.
Yes. Gentlemen, thank you for dropping in. Good to have you here.
Having us.
Yes.
Thanks for the invite.
So, Equip Cayman 2026. What's it all about?
It's a brand new thing for Cayman. Just to kind of give you a little bit of background on it, back in February, I met this man in the airport in Havana, Cuba. I do a lot of mission work in Cuba. He does a lot of mission work in Cuba. And it was pretty unique because I was checking in my luggage to come back to Cayman after being there 2 weeks. He was in another section of Cuba. He was standing in line, and we met. And so we sat over coffee. I found out he was coming to Cayman. And so we sat over coffee, and we just clicked, just became just instant friends. And he was sharing with me some of the concepts of this particular organization, which is NCMI, which is New Covenant Ministries International. And then he invited me to go to South Africa for a big global equip.
So all of a sudden you're going all over the place.
Yeah, man. I mean, I met him, and I just really felt the Lord, tell me, you need to go. It just felt right. And so this global event is all the different nations, they have their own equips. So that's why we wanted to have an equip in Cayman. And then on a global basis, every 5 years, I believe it is, they go together. There's over 8,000 people in this event, and it blew my mind. It blew me away, because the things that we as a church body here, we as the kingdom of God here in the Cayman Islands, we need some refreshing. We need some revitalization, and so I'm listening to these guys and seeing what's happening, all these different nations, and I realize, what, these guys are doing what we need to do here in the Cayman Islands. So I'm with the Church of God over in Cayman Brac, and things quite different on Cayman Brac, as you would know. And so I just got excited about that, and so we put this together, and so we have a team that's come in. I'll let Rudy kick in here and tell us about the team that is here. When we leave here, we're going on to Cuba and do an equip in the Havana area. So this is Rudy Furlong, and he's from Australia.
Yeah. What brought you to Cayman in the first place when you met him?
I think that's a very good question. We were praying as a pastoral team 2 years ago in Australia in our church, and God put the name Cayman, and my geography is not the best. And I thought Cayman Island was somehow off the Spanish coast in Europe. And I Googled it and realized it's just 45-minute flight from Havana. And of course, we've been ministering in Cuba for some years now. And I mentioned this to my team of pastors in our church, and one of the pastors said, "You are kidding." When we were praying for the nations a week or so ago, Cayman came into my heart, and he said, "Do you know anyone there?" I said, "Not a soul." And so I think I say it's a good question, because I think we've somehow missed something, including me, where the Bible speaks about revelation. Paul says in Galatians chapter 1, "I never received the gospel through man, but through revelation of Jesus Christ." And he's knocked to the ground. In the book of Acts, we see he's on his way to Damascus to go and, sort the church out from his perspective. And he meets this voice, and he says, "Who are you, Lord?" It's interesting, he calls him Lord, which means owner, master. And he says, "I'm Jesus that you're tackling, so be careful." And so it was revelation. And then Galatians chapter 2, verse 2, he says, "I went to Jerusalem by revelation, not by invitation." So good question. We've come to Cayman's just by revelation, not knowing anybody, and it's like the Macedonian man who called the ministries from Jerusalem, and so we've changed Thomas's name to Mac, not Big Mac as in McDonald's, but so it's purely.
You just happened to be standing next to him in line.
Exactly. He had one of his young Timothy traveling with him to Havana to do ministry, and I was ready to book our luggage through, and our cabin luggage, and this gentleman was standing in front of me. On the back of his baseball cap, it says, Jesus, I love Jesus. So I tapped him on the shoulder, and a little bit of small talk, and I said, do you believe that on the back of your cap? Oh, absolutely, man. And he's from Jamaica, man.
Yeah.
So he said, wow, why do you ask the question? So I wanted to ask him a pointed question to start a conversation, and that's how we met his pastor.
Yeah. He said, that's
Natalie
my pastor
Thomas.
right there. Yeah.
Yeah.
That's an amazing story, though.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was just amazing because and I was traveling with my grandson, Levi, who's 19 years of age, and he does a bit of travel with me into the nations. We in a few nations in a calendar year, and he's been with me to Indonesia twice. And I said to him a year ago, come with me to the Caymans, to the Caribbean. So he was very excited.
It was amazing. It was really amazing. I'm total strangers, and then 10 minutes later, we're sitting over coffee, and we just clicked. You know.
Fantastic.
Yeah.
So let's break down this Equip Cayman event for us.
So NCMI, New Covenant Ministries International, had its genesis in South Africa 45 years ago, and it's an Ephesians, not a church. It's an Ephesians 4:11 team of fivefold ministry, and there's about 500 ministries on that team that on invitation will go into nations. We're in 100 nations around the world, and on invitation will come to a church or a denomination, and we train leaders. So my go-to scripture is 2 Timothy 2:2, which says, Paul says to young Timothy, train faithful men that they in turn can train others, because if you train the leader of the church and he catches something that God's saying, not what the pastor's saying, what God's saying, and it's balanced truth, well, then he'll massage that truth into the life of the church, because you don't want to preach to the church and then the church tells the pastor what to do. You can't, the tail starts wagging the dog. So the pastor, I see the pastor as the dreamer in the church. God's going to give him vision for the future of the church, and so we train pastors all around the world.
So what will happen here now at Chapel Church of God?
Okay. Well, like I said, we were in South Africa, and I was just kind of absorbing all this, and so when we decided to come here, this is an opportunity not just for the Church of God. We're sponsoring it. But it's for all ministers, it's all ministries, it's for Sunday school teachers, evangelists, soul winners, and especially for young believers. That's one of the real keys that got me really excited is this organization really focuses on developing young leaders. Because a lot of us that are older pastors, just go ahead and call it like it is. We're not going to be around for too many more years, and we need to bring up young pastors, young leaders to lead forth in the kingdom of God. And one of the things that really got me was the whole concept of NCMI is that it's for the King and for the kingdom.
Yeah,
it's not about our little church or your little church or our people. It's about the King Jesus and His kingdom.
Good.
And so we're going to be doing this. It'll be located at the Family Life Center on Walker's Road. Most everybody in Cayman knows the Family Life Center. And it's going to be on the 26th, 27th, 28th of January, so next Monday. Monday's a holiday, so we decided to have the beginning session at 1 o'clock, from 1 to 5 on Monday, the 26th. And then Tuesday and Wednesday, it'll be in the evening from 6 to 9, both of those nights. And we just have opened it up. We want all the churches to be involved, and this is a tremendous opportunity to really tap into some valuable resources and some inspiration that, sometimes when you're kind of all by yourself, especially with me, I'm on Cayman Brac. Cayman Brac's pretty small. Mm-hmm. And sometimes it gets really small. And then when I get the opportunity to tap into a resource group like theirs and just listen to them and thinking, man, these guys think like I think. And so I know that this information It has inspired me to really study into it and get into it, and it's going to help me and my church, all the churches in the Cayman Islands. And so that's basically the precepts of it. So we're inviting all the pastors to come in, and as he said, it's not a denomination, it's not a church, it's a helps ministry, and they come alongside of us and they help us to develop the kingdom ministry. But I'm really excited about developing young leaders.
God's a generational God. He's the God of Abraham, Isaac, and Jacob. And I think to see pastors that are all around the world in the body of Christ are bailing out, burning out, bombing out. And I heard earlier you talk about young people and just our generation. I mean, we've got the scrolling generation. They've got their head down and they're scrolling a screen. And I think of four godly men that were held captive in Babylon, namely Daniel and his three mates. The first thing that happened when they arrived in Babylon, they were all from the tribe of Judah, which means praise. There was a social engineering program that started immediately. Their feet hit Babylon, and they changed their names. Then they tried to change their diet. And this whole social engineering of our young people, just from my perspective today, change things, change the way they see things, change, just their perspectives on gender, etc., etc. But, God gives us a new name. There's another guy, young man, who came from a neighboring country called Ur of the Chaldees, and his name was Abram. And when he had an encounter with Jesus, his name was changed to Abraham, father of nations. Peter's name is changed. Cephas's name is changed to Stone, to Peter. Everyone that Saul, to Paul, young people that have an encounter with Jesus, God will renew their identity to be shaped and formed and identified with Christ himself. So I think there's a real hill to climb for the church, the body of Christ across the world, because our global village, our young people are drowning. They're drowning in their identity. Someone else is the algorithms are telling them who they should be. TikTok is defining, framing their lives. And we believe that there's a better way. And of course, Jesus is our North Star.
We have to take a little break here, but we'll be right back and we'll talk more about Equip Cayman 2026.
Accidents and illnesses can strike without warning. Ouch! When it comes to urgent care, every second counts. At Doctors Hospital, we have a dedicated team of experienced doctors and nursing staff available to you 24 hours a day, 7 days a week. Don't waste time in an overcrowded emergency room when you need urgent care. Whether it's a broken bone, a severe infection, or a sudden illness, trust in Doctors Hospital's unwavering dedication to providing the best immediate care. For complete urgent care when you need it the most, choose Doctors Hospital, located in Georgetown, 16 Middle Road.
Freedom, Cayman Brack. Freedom, Little Cayman. Soft breezes, blue waters, no traffic. Unwind and rejuvenate your mind, body, and soul. Sister Island Staycations, a taste of freedom. Discover all that our sister islands have to offer. Radio Cayman's Talk Today. What is on your mind, Cayman?
Welcome back, and I'm speaking with Pastor Thomas French of the Church of God Chapel, Cotton Tree Bay in Cayman Brack, and also Rudy Furlow of the Liberty Church in South Australia. He's come a long way to be with us here. Now, some people might say, you got trained pastors. Well, haven't they gone through this seminary, or they have experience?
What are
you going to teach them?
I can speak to that. I've been in ministry now for 5 decades. It seems like that, and you trudge on sometimes, and you're praying and you're seeking the Lord, and we like Rudy said, we have to be men of vision. Where there's no vision, we're not going to make it. And so sometimes you just need some extra input. You do your study, you study the scriptures. If you go to seminary or Bible college, sometimes it takes a while to get that stuff out of you because you get stuck.
Mm-hmm.
And I see here in Cayman Islands, that the church has kind of gotten into that kind of a rut. And even as Rudy was saying, young people today, they're not going to buy into that. They're looking for excitement. They're looking for something that will really inspire them and move them forward. And the world offers all kinds of stuff. Most of it's junk, but hey, the young people are going to jump on that because it's exciting. So I got saved when I was 16 as a teenager. So all these many years now, I'm not 16 anymore, but I'll tell you what, the Lord has carried me. He changed my life. All my life I've been serving Him, but I still need some freshness, a fresh wind to blow in my life, and so that I can impart that to the church, evangelistic stuff. That's one reason I love mission work, because you go into little brand new territories, and you meet people that have a hunger for something new, something. I mean, some of them are really desperate, and so that's what this is all about. Just sort of bringing a fresh wind, a fresh anointing by the Spirit of the Lord. Because sometimes we just keep doing the same old thing, trying to make it work, and then we get frustrated. And as Rudy said, many pastors are just burning out, or they just sort of put themselves on cruise control. That's not kingdom work. We got to stay excited. It's hard to sell your product if you're not excited about it. And so we love Jesus, and we want everybody else to fall in love with Him as well.
So when you did this, you found inspiration, you found a refreshment.
I tell you, there's nothing like standing in an auditorium with 8,000 plus Christians worshiping, true, just outpouring of worship, and then the word coming forth. And that's the thing. This is word based. It's not necessarily my church doctrine. It doesn't matter about me.
So
and
do you leave your denominations at the door? Or?
No, because really, I'm a kingdom guy. My church is the Church of God, but it's part of the kingdom of God. And I've always been a kingdom builder. I don't want to be a kingdom dweller, just hang out in the kingdom, hang out in the church. I want to build the kingdom of God. And you do that by witnessing and sharing and winning souls and being refreshed yourself. And so I'll let Rudy jump in here because I'm sure he's got some words.
Mark 6:13 says, Jesus said, making the word of God of no effect through your tradition which you have handed down, and many such things you do. And I think all of us can fall into the same old thing. And this is because we've done this 50 years,
Yeah.
and but the fruit of that sort of attitude and that modus operandi is the fact that you blunt the word of God. And the writer to the Hebrews, talking about God's word, he said it has a life of its own. It's sharp. It cuts and divides soul and spirit. I mean, if your local specialist here in Georgetown opens you up, he won't find a soul and a spirit, but the Word of God will. It's incredibly discerning, and it actually discerns the intents and thoughts of our heart. So the Word of God, I think over time in all of our lives, we can become blunt, and we just do the same thing the same way, expecting a different result. So, Solomon reminded us there's nothing new under the sun. So it's not about new teaching. It's just about, in many respects, when it comes to church leadership and pastors' character, to bring us back to the Word of God.
Yeah, right, yeah.
So who is this for? I know you mentioned it's not just pastors.
Right. It's for anyone that has a heart for ministry. If they maybe there's some young people out there or some older folks, generational limitations don't not apply, because the older ones can also serve the Lord with gladness as well as young people. But yeah, it's an opportunity for young and old alike to come. If you have a heart, you feel like the Lord's maybe put something on your heart, a call. It's not just for pastors, not just for those leaders in the church, but maybe for those that are aspiring. and feeling like, I feel the Lord calling me into something, and I feel gifted in this particular area, but I really don't understand exactly how it applies. But as Rudy talked about, in Ephesians it talks about there's fivefold ministries that Jesus put in the church, and those fivefold ministries they segue into different aspects of our lives and the kingdom. So with some of us, we get stuck in one mode. Like, I'm a pastor. Well, I'm not just a pastor. I'm also a teacher. I'm also an evangelist. I'm also a missionary. And so it just expands things out. And so this is for anyone that really has a heart for ministry, a heart for God, a heart for the kingdom. We invite them to come because they can bring some newness into our lives. They come. There's nothing like getting together. Like I say, I was really inspired with 8,000 plus Christians. Just, I mean, it blew my mind. And you watch it on TV, big crowd, but when you're right in the middle of it. So I came back.
Great energy.
Oh yeah, you could feel it, the atmosphere. When I left Johannesburg, I was renewed. Man, I'm coming back. I'm writing notes, and I can't wait to get back.
Do you see more young Caymanians getting involved in the ministry than you have in the past?
Okay, that's a hot question, because there are some young people that are really, some young men, young ladies, they have a heart for ministry and coming in. But unfortunately, now I can speak about Cayman Brac. It's been difficult to entice the young people to come to church. Just to come and be a part of it. And part of that is because some of the churches aren't offering anything that really gets them excited. And I'm a very excitable guy. I don't want to be bored. And so my philosophy as far as ministry is I don't want to bore anybody else. So we're gonna light a fire and strike the drum, and let's turn the music up a little bit. If you got to, whatever you got to use. So yeah, to answer that question, I feel like that there's a large segment of the youth population in the Cayman Islands that really don't care much about the church or God, and so that's part of the aspect of what we're doing as well.
So you would look to this event, it's called Equip Cayman.
Equip Cayman,
and as offering some kind of inspiration, some enlightenment.
Yes.
And training. The Ephesians 4:11 through 16 is a template that we use constantly. And, Paul writing to the church that he started from its genesis, and he says, God gave some to be, and he mentions the fivefold ministry, apostles, prophets, evangelists, pastors, teachers. Then verse 12 is key. He says, to equip the church, or equip the believers to do the work of the ministry. Being a pastor, I've led a church in Australia for 30 years, for 3 decades. I have great admiration for the local pastor, because you come along every Sunday, you listen to sometimes the same jokes, the same, dad jokes, but they have to deliver and preach the gospel and disciple the folk that listen to him every Sunday. So they've got to come up with something new from the scriptures, hopefully bread baked in heaven's oven. But that word equip is an interesting word in Ephesians 4:12. That word is an orthopedic word. That word means to reset a limb, a bone that's been dislocated, to equip the believers to do the work of the ministry. And a lot of pastors do all the ministry in the church. Yes, they're counseling and preaching and training and doing and visiting and doing everything else. But in fact, it says, equip the believers, train your people to do the work of the ministry. And I think that's why a lot of pastors, they're lonely, they got no relationships outside the body of Christ, and they're bombing out and blowing out in the ministry.
We're almost coming down to the end of the line here, but just give us a glimpse of what people might expect over, 3 days?
Yes.
So what a little sample of what you're going to be doing.
We're going to gather together and have some worship, and then we're going to get into some teaching, some training. And again, it's all biblical based. It's not a denominational thing, but it's something that once we're there, it's going to be kind of a Tell us.
Well, I think wherever ministries come through, particularly Ephesians 4:11 ministries, they bring unity, Charlo.
Yes.
They bring unity. They don't divide, they reconcile. You know, the gospel's inclusive, not exclusive. So that inclusivity that Jesus brings, unity, just to have, you know, some of the pastors turn up on Monday, this coming week, I think the unity that I believe God will bring, so that guys connect more. You know, Jesus said in John 15, and I'll land this, he says, I no longer call you servants, I call you friends. And servants just work functionally when they're on the roster. Friends will lay down their life.
Yeah.
What are the dates?
All right, it's Monday, this coming Monday, January 26th, 27th, and 28th. At Monday, it's 1 to 5, and then Tuesday and Wednesday, it's from 6 to 9. It's a Family Life Center located on Walker's Road.
So do people have to register beforehand?
They can
or
come on
anything
in.
like that?
Registration is no cost, no registration fee. And so we just invite everybody to come in. And
The doors open, just come.
yes, and if you have some young people or some older folks, you know, some people in your churches, if you're a pastor or you're a leader, and you see a gifted area in their life, but they're not really sure themselves, because that happens a lot. You know, like Rudy said, the pastor's preaching, doing all the ministry, and we have people sitting in our pews, sitting right there, that they have giftings, but they don't really know how to be involved in ministry. And so that's part of what this is about, giving them a chance as well.
Bit of activation, Charlo.
Yeah.
Activation.
Pastor Thomas French and Pastor Rudy Furlow, thank you so much for coming in and telling us about this.
Our
this
pleasure.
event
Thank you for
coming up.
allowing us to come.
Thanks for the invitation.
Well, that's it for Talk Today. I'm Charles Glidden. One love.
Talk Today is brought to you by Subway, open 24 hours in Countryside, Anderson Square in Georgetown, and Centennial Towers in West Bay. And by the Ministry of District Administration. Explore your history, explore your land, explore your sister islands. And Cayman Airways. Call them on 949-2311 to book your nonstop flights to Los Angeles and Panama. And Doctors Hospital. Peace of mind is important when life happens. Doctors Hospital, always there for you. Call 949